We're gonna work on not necessarily some guard retention stuff. It can definitely be used for guard retention, but like what to do with your hands and feet, so to speak, right? So I'm gonna show something a little different. I think you guys have probably fallen victim to this here in the last month or so because I've been doing it a lot with you guys. So normally we might do collar sleeve grips, right? And use iron stuff, right? So maybe I'm here and I get inside and I might be playing this type of position or this type of position, right? So foot in the shoulder, foot on the hip, right? Working on exposing his elbow, right? Different things here. What we can also do is maybe I got feet on hips, collar grips, right? I might go, as he makes a grip with that hand, steal this grip here, okay? And then now I can play this numerous different ways. I can play with one knee in the chest, and I can play with that half lasso here. So I'm thrusting that knee in his chest, right? Very hard for him to do much here, right? So now he has to work on standing and all that other stuff, okay? But I can control his grips, right? I can circle this out here, right? And attack triangles, right? I can start to open this up, omoplatas, okay? So first we'll just play around with, and I want the person in his scenario, right? So I'm gonna be here, and I'll have feet on hips, okay? And we're just gonna kind of play, kind of a game, if you will. All I'm trying to do is not let him pass, and then I don't want you to get vertical. Like, you could stand up, but you need to be
straight up, right?
Well, I don't want you to like try to stand up and completely disengage.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I want you to just be aggressive, like so.
Yeah.
What I want to do is adjust his base, right? So that's a half lasso on his shoulder, right? I'm not going to let him have his hands. I'm going to make sure I'm doing something with my feet at all times and my hands at all times. Okay, so I'm in this position here, and now he has to decide what he's doing. So as he tries to get his grips back, or tries to, right, he breaks the grip. I hip escape and I place it back, right? Keep going. Here, okay? I'm extending one, pulling the sleeve, retracting this one and putting it in his shoulder, okay? He makes another grip. All right, switch, break the grip, same spot, okay? And I can be back in this spot if he gets tall. Stand. Now, instead of staying here, because he's gonna start to come up under my hips, right? I have to elongate him. I gotta get him away from me, okay? Now, I'm not gonna let him get to my pant leg, right? I'm gonna hide it, okay? As he tries to get his posture back, all right, start pulling him in, right? You try to set up, right? Push him out again. Here, here. What I'm doing is going from feet on hips to shallow or half lasso on his shoulder, right in the pocket on his chest here, okay? And I'm switching, okay? When he's down, I might have one knee in the chest, same position, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah. When do you switch though? Like when Mark attacks you, you're switching. When do you switch?
Before I lose what my advantage is. As soon as he starts to get an advantage, I have to do something different. Okay? What am I not letting you do? Control that leg, right? So if you start to get to that leg, right? Break.
Oh, yeah. So and if he reaches for this
Right?
leg.
Right? Okay? You understand? Does that make sense? So it doesn't have to be a specific thing or a specific order in which you do it. We're gonna go feet on hips to start, double sleeve grips. So I'm gonna grab them like this on the outside, roll my knuckles in, okay? I'm gonna circle, put a foot on the shoulder. I can also circle inside, put it as a spider hook, okay? And then I'm gonna play from either my shin in his chest or my knee in his chest. If he starts to stand, I'm gonna go from his hips to his shoulders and vice versa, okay? What am I trying to do? I'm extending his hips away from me if he starts to get control of my legs. Right? I'm going to retract one, push one away. Just trying to control so that I keep both sleeve grips and both grips with my feet. Okay? I should be doing something with all four of those at all times. Does that make sense? Any questions? Yeah.
Where's your thumb for your sleeve grip?
Outside, nothing. I don't use it at all.
So it's just like little.
So, it's a good question though. So, if I need to grab it, right? So I get to here, he makes a grip, right? I can go in and grab, but I can't leave it there. Okay, I can't put anything inside his gi. Can't do this, right? Can't hold this. I can go in and open it, and then I have to grab it. Going like this, rolling my knuckles in. Okay, you can go pistol grip. If he knows how to break it, I'm just not a big fan of it. Okay? All right? Now, there are some outliers. We've met some of them. And I can hold that, but I'm just telling you, most people, it's really hard to hold. It's not a bad grip. I just think Pimenta showed this, shoot, 8, 9 years ago, and it just stuck. So we've been using it ever since. All right. I just think it's easier to obtain for most people, and if you know how to roll your knuckles in, it's harder for him to break. Okay. It's much harder for him to rotate his hand. Rotate your hand. Okay. Versus pistol grip here. If he gets his thumb, no, the other way, you said it. Wrap your thumb around. Push. Right. If he gets his thumb wrapped around here, I have to make sure that I adjust to where he can't get that. Right. If he gets that, it's going to be hard for me to hold it. Does that make sense?
Another question, your feet and hands, do you try to make it diagonal, hand, foot, or when do you go shoulder,
I could
shoulder?
play, there's no specific rule.
There is.
When you're down here, right, I could be here, I could be here,
Oh, you could.
okay? Because if you start to push into me, I start to go flat back
Uh-huh.
and use my head, right, as a post.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna stay here, but you're not passing. You better stand up, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not passing from there, so it's not gonna happen,
Okay.
okay? And then as you move, right,
Yeah.
I adjust. I'm not letting you get this hand to my knee, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you start to get it,
Yeah.
right, and now I switch grips, right? Okay. Does that make
For the
sense?
drill, do you want the person on top to just continue to let you?
They're gonna continue to try to free the leg, right? Free your leg off of them. They're gonna attempt to pass, okay?
Okay, we are.
If they pass, that's fine.
Okay.
What I don't want, don't turn it into a roll.
Right.
You wanna make the person on bottom have to work to keep all those connections.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, let's try that. Good?
2 minutes?
2 minutes and switch. 1, 2, 3. All right. So, that little sequence or drill was basically just to make the connection in your brain. What do we need to do so that I'm not getting past? Number one. Okay. And then as I start to wear them down, I can start attacking from there. Okay. So, we're going to do this from the knees, because I get in this spot a lot, okay? So maybe I'm closed guard, he's working to try to open, right? I come in, right? So now I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
all right? So even if he has a grip, right? Go ahead. So I'm holding, pushing, right? So it's hard for you to stand up.
Yeah,
because you're gonna be
absolutely.
vulnerable when you stand up.
Right.
So if it's just on his knees for the sake of drill here,
Yeah.
right? I'm in here, tight, my elbows, my hands pulled or turned palm up, okay? I'm in his shoulder, my knee is in here,
Right.
okay? As he's working to get grips or to attempt to start his pass, I can start moving. So he's trying to retract his arm,
Yeah.
right?
Trying to pin.
So when he tries to pull his elbow back, I can circle and go here. So now I'm in basically like a pseudo spider guard here. I'm gonna thrust my knee into his chest, right? As he's trying to retract his arm or figure out what he's gonna do, I'm gonna kick my right knee under as I throw my leg on top. Pulling it. Okay, so now he's in here. Now, for most of you guys, I've done this a lot. I hit you with this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I can go reverse triangle right here, okay? Or I'm in the spot here, I pull him in, grab my shin, foot goes to the hip, I dive under, lock my triangle, turn and point, so my shins are pointing the same way, okay? So, I start, here. Okay? I can always switch if he starts to get control of my leg where I don't like it. Right?
So you'll,
Inside, kick, so here. Alright, I can just switch to the side. Okay, so I'm in here.
uh-huh.
I'm kind of hooking his hip, pulling on the grip, pushing on his shoulder. Okay? As I see opportunities, trying to retract his hand. Circle here. Right? Now, I put pressure with that shin into his chest, kick my right leg under his armpit, jump my left leg over his shoulder. Pull him in. Okay? Grab my shin, foot goes to the hip. Hang on him here. Okay? Left hand, I'm going to use my right foot on his hip, and I'm going to dive my left hand under his shoulder, cut my angle, lock my legs, toes pointed up, point my shins, sorry.
Man, it's tight.
It's
Point
time.
my shins to get the choke. Okay? Makes the triangle hole smaller.
You want that hand in the pocket?
That's kind of how he's going to end up, right? So I'm not necessarily forcing it, but when I shoot that leg, he's going to end up, I'm going to pull my knees to my chest when I get on top of him. And it's going to end up like that, okay? When we tack the omoplata, yes, we're going to want that in my pocket. I'm going to put his shoulder or his chest into my ribs, basically. Okay?
Was that an arm in or out?
Yeah.
It was a triangle, regular triangle.
Okay.
But why didn't you attack this arm when you had it inside and this arm on the outside? Why wouldn't you have done the triangle? Why
Because
did you
I'm in a half lasso here,
Yeah.
okay?
So you couldn't have shot
You
this.
see?
Oh, I see.
See your hand?
So that's why you wanted.
Right? So I'm wanting you to retract these grips,
Uh-huh.
right? So you've got some posture,
Yeah.
right? Trying to retract your grip, circle, here. Okay? All right, pull him in. Now his arm's here. Clearly, Taylor, you can see, if I wanted to switch, I could go right to an omoplata here, right? Here. And finish. Let's just work on shooting that triangle first. Don't worry that much about the finish part of it. That's fine once you get there. I want to focus on pressure in the chest, and then I'm going to shoot that knee under his armpit as I jump the other shoulder. Does that make sense? It's different than how I've shown it from like collar sleeve before. I've been doing this for a couple months now. I always like to rep it in here in rolls. But a bunch of people have been getting got with this for a good month. But I think if you can play the defensive mechanism we were doing before with this, and then start attacking like that, people get super tired defending this. Right? It's nothing stagnant about it. Everybody understand? Need to say it one more time?
Yes.
All right. So, I'm here, inside, right? I'm in this position, right? I can hip out, break, and I'm in, right? So once I get this, I kick that leg out, put it in the shoulder, I'm tight. He's gonna try to retract one of these arms. He's trying to get this back. Pressing in on him, right? Trying to retract that arm to use it. Here,
Inside.
right?
Yeah.
So I can be in his shoulder or his bicep. Pressing in. So my hips are up a little bit. Shoot over, kick under. Pull him in. Okay? And if I want the regular triangle, I'm going to reach my right hand over, grab my left shin because that's the one over his shoulder, foot on the hip, dive my left hand under as I cut my angle, turn. If I want, shoot it again. Here, I want the reverse triangle. I'll grab my right shin, lock up here. This is not as tight, but I'll get most people with it. I'm gonna hug my knees. Okay?
It's just as effective.
Okay? Just a little different. The first triangle is probably gonna be your best bet, but if you get good at triangles, you can kind of do both of them too.
You have short legs, yeah.
Huh?
You have short legs.
I still think you can do it. Focus on cutting angles too. First version where you do the regular triangle and you go under the arm and you try to make a 90-degree angle with your upper body to his, you'll have a better chance of making it. Don't look square at him, okay? All right, break up and do that. 1, 2, 3.